Hello and welcome. I wanted to share this little video about myself from a more personal perspective about who I am and why you should start your journey with me. Can be you're looking to become pain-free, can be you're looking to start a spiritual practice, or maybe to learn something new about yoga, spirituality, meditation. So I am a yoga teacher. I'm also a pain therapist, and I do something called pain therapy. Also, I'm a healer, which is not any specific kind of healing. It's called intuitive healing. And what I give is activations of energy and clearings of old energy. So it's like energy wash of the body. I use affirmations a lot, and I use also knowledge. What is science showing us? What is the science saying about the nervous system and the emotions? And then I use my own experience. And for me, that's actually the most important, which is why I'm doing this video. I practice yoga for many years now, more than 10 years. And to be honest, I stopped counting when I reached the 10 years. The time for me is not that important, it's more the intention of what is behind your practice. So I started yoga when I was 21 because I was experiencing chronic pain. I was suffering from something we call fibromyalgia, which means that you have pain in all the joints of your body. And when you have severe chronic pain, it's always there. It's like every time you move, even if you think about moving, if you don't move, you have constantly pain. And so I had many things in my daily life that I was not able to do. It could be like vacuuming or washing the dishes, which is things that maybe it's not so fun, but once someone takes it away from you, you realize how little freedom you have to choose what you want to do with your life. Even the little things, and that you are dependent on someone to do it for you. This was quite hard for me. It was some difficult years. I was also in a stressful situation at the time. My brother was sick. I had lost my boyfriend who died. He had fallen down from a cliff, which is a completely different story. And then I had also lost my father. So I was in this pain as well internally. The chronic pain in my body, I started having it when I was just 13. So it wasn't a new thing. But when I was in my 20s, it was the most severe pain that I had experienced in my life. It was every day. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't walk. And then, by coincidence, this woman, she said to me, maybe you should try to do yoga. I heard it would be good to stretch when you have pain. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was doing weightlifting and this kind of thing. I always did a lot of sports, so for me to try yoga, I was curious. I went to this class where there was an old woman, I think maybe she was 70 years old, and she would be talking through all these asana, like standing on her head and going into like all weird kind of poses. And I was so impressed that she could do all this with her body, and she was so relaxed and so calm, and she was so old, but she could do all these things with her body. And when we were doing it, I felt like this is something I need, but it didn't really heal my pain like I had hoped. Then we did a meditation in the end of the class, and something happened to me in that moment. Like, I came home to something that I didn't know I was already missing. And then I decided I'm gonna do this every day. So I started to just sit and breathe. And focus on my center. And I decided to breathe just every day and sit by myself and do some stretches. And I started coming back to this yoga class regularly. And slowly I start to not listen so much to what the doctors were telling me, which was you're gonna live with this disease the rest of your life, you're not gonna be able to move, you need to have a job where you're not physical because you're gonna have problems. And even they were telling me all these things that were wrong in my body, there was another part of me that like knew they were wrong, because I had this small experience every time I meditate, every time I did yoga, like, wow, I feel better now. Like I was not healed, but I felt better. So I continued to do the yoga, and then at some point I stopped to listen to the doctors, and I just continued to do yoga every day and try to change my diet. And in the end, I took a teacher training in hot yoga to begin with, because hot yoga really helped me to go into movements at that point. And then I took the teacher trainings in yin yoga, which for me was, yeah, I felt like home somehow in something relaxed and also powerful at the same time. So I started practicing yin yoga every day, and I traveled to Singapore to take teacher trainings, and I started to teach very fast, and everything transformed in record speed. And then when I was doing all this, I still had pain, and I was wondering why. Maybe I didn't find the correct yoga or meditation. But then I took a course in something called Explain Pain Therapy. And Explain Pain Therapy is like how to understand what pain is. It's a way to understand it. So it's like you go to a class and you learn about pain. And so I went to this class, and I was sitting in a classroom for 8 hours listening to a man explain about pain, and the moment I came home my pain was gone. And I was shocked. At this point I was 25 and I had pain for my whole life since I was 13. So I never tried to move my head without pain before. So for me it was huge, like a huge experience. And from there on I started therapy, like Explain Pain Therapy, and going regularly to training. And my life transformed in ways that today, when I look back at it, I get still so excited for me, on my behalf, that the pain disappeared. And then I really started to help a lot of people. I started to feel safe in my body, and I changed my life completely. And that's when I started my spiritual path, which maybe I will make a video about only that part, because that's also quite exciting. But I quit my job, I moved out of the boyfriend's apartment, and I started only teaching yoga and then giving healings to people with chronic pain. So today I live full time from this. Right now I'm currently traveling and trying to share my knowledge with as many people as possible, and also explore this freedom that I now have, because I am pain-free and I have all this energy now that I want to share with the world. So if you have pain, or if you're interested in knowing more, like take a workshop with me, come to an event, follow me on my social media, and yeah, just like connect with me. Please write me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you, your family, your friends. Thank you for listening to my little personal story. I wish you a beautiful day. Namaste.